took videos of her ever-glowing skin. Afterwards, she started doing her skincare routine. She used a vitamin C syrup, she applied her face cream, thanking God for her glass skin. But then she started feeling her face sting, and in minutes, her face turned black and burnt. In a small town lived a very beautiful lady named Pearl. But beauty was not the only thing she had. Ever since she was small, she always dreamt of a better life while other children played and forgot about tomorrow. She would sit and tell herself, "One day I will make it. My story must change." Pearl was self-aware. She knew no one is coming to take her out of poverty, especially when she was fatherless. It was just her and her mother. She wanted a good life for herself. She dreamt big. While most of the children in the village settled for less, Pearl rejected it. It had become a tradition for the villagers that once they finished secondary school in the town, the ladies would get married and the men start up a business or start farming. But Pearl saw beyond that. She aimed high. The villagers saw Pearl as a very proud girl just because she wanted a better life. She didn't sit and gossip with her mates. Instead, at any given opportunity, she read or helped her mother with chores. And they disliked her for this. More like they were jealous of her composure. And this wasn't the only reason why they were jealous of Pearl. Right from birth, Pearl has always had a natural glowing skin. Even when she's coming from afar, it's so easy to know she's the one coming because of her very clear and glowing skin. Other people in the village have to do so much caring for their skin to have a glowing skin, and even after everything, their skin isn't as clear as Pearl's, and they all wondered what Pearl used on her skin. On several occasions, have they asked Pearl the secret to her glowing skin? But she told them she only uses shea butter and aloe vera. They copied her and it still didn't work for them. They got angry saying she's lying. She doesn't want to tell her what she's using. Wicked girl. They all avoided her. Pearl had no friends. Sometimes when she feels lonely and she tries to play with the girls, they avoided her. "Cynthia Fori," they shouted, "Go," telling her. Pearl got used to it. She had no friends. None of her age mates liked her out of jealousy. The only people that liked and complimented her were older people who liked her zeal towards education and her fight for a better life. Anytime she walks on the street, they would laugh at her and say, "Miss ITK, I too know." But Pearl ignored them. She was used to their gutter behavior, and it got worse when news spread that Pearl got admission into a prestigious college in the city, and it was a full scholarship. Her mother was so happy. People congratulated her. None of her schoolmates or age mates congratulated her. They eased whenever they saw her. Pearl's mother would always console her and tell her to ignore them. "My daughter, it is good the way they are showing it that they don't like you. So you know to ignore them. The worst ones are the ones that smile in front of you and they hate you in secret. My child, you need to be very careful, okay? You have me and I'm your best friend, isn't it?" "Yes, Mama," Pearl said, and thanked her mother. "Be very careful, my child, and don't trust easily," her mother told her all the time. Few months later, Pearl packed up and traveled to the city. She got to the school, checked in to her hostel, and it was so surreal for her because every person she saw there was smiling. They were either smiling or laughing, and it was so new to her because it wasn't like that in her town. She didn't want to be the odd one, and so she smiled back at everyone who smiled at her. "Oh, she's so pretty. Her skin is glowing and shining like the sun," they said while smiling as they walked past Pearl. Pearl found a room and there were other girls in the room too. They all welcomed her. They told each other their names, courses and all. Pearl got to know 3 of her roommates, but her 4th roommate acted so odd. She didn't smile, she just stared at her weirdly. She didn't bother to meet her too. She settled in, and the next day, it was her first day in school. She got up, got dressed, and went to school. She was early. She sat down waiting for the class to start. When someone tapped her and said, "You are very beautiful and your skin is glowing. What's your skincare routine like? Do you use tretinoin? I use tretinoin." Pearl stared at her weirdly. She doesn't even know what tretinoin gel is. "Aren't you my fourth roommate?" Pearl asked. "Oh yeah. I'm sorry I didn't introduce myself to you yesterday. My name is Rejoice and I'm studying chemistry too. I guess we are studying the same course," Rejoice said. Pearl was surprised. She didn't know how to react. The previous day, she didn't even acknowledge her presence. Fast forward to the present, she's been so nice. Pearl went with the flow. She introduced herself to Rejoice. "Let's be friends. We have so many things in common. Look, my skin is so nice and shining like yours too," Rejoice said. Pearl smiled timidly. She wanted to change seats, but she couldn't. All through the class, Rejoice was distracting her by talking about all of the skincare products she has used over the years, and all she did was smile at Rejoice. They went home, and Rejoice became so nice and clingy to Pearl. The other roommates were surprised. When did this friendship start? They questioned. Rejoice was acting like she has known Pearl for years. Pearl decided to give her a chance. She might not be that bad. Maybe she was in a bad mood the first day we met. Being friends with someone was so new to Pearl, but she opened up and let Rejoice in. They became best friends, did literally everything together. People call them twins because they both have a perfect glowing skin. Pearl liked and cherished Rejoice so much because she is her first close and real friend. So she thought. A year after Pearl came to the city, she decided to go back to her town to check on her mother. She told Rejoice, and Rejoice decided to follow her. Pearl was surprised, but she was happy, and so they traveled together. When they got to the town, the people who used to dislike her now turned to her admirers, and of course, Pearl ignored them. She told Rejoice the reason why she doesn't have friends in the village. Rejoice consoled her, but surprisingly, one day, Pearl searched the whole house for Rejoice and she didn't see her. She went into the streets and saw Rejoice laughing so much with the same group of people she told her disliked her for no reason. Pearl was so angry and she confronted Rejoice, but Rejoice defended herself, saying, "Pearl, just because you don't like them doesn't mean I shouldn't be friends with them. Please don't do this." Pearl let the issue go as she doesn't want to argue with Rejoice, and they started preparing to leave for the city. Before they left, Pearl's mother called her and told her to be very careful and to stay away from Rejoice, as for some reasons she isn't genuine. But Pearl told her mother that Rejoice is the nicest person she has ever met. They continued their friendship. Pablo, the biggest, richest, and most handsome guy in Pearl's department, fell in love with her. She was everything he wanted in a lady and more, and so he asked her out, and she agreed. Pearl's life changed for the better when she started dating Pablo, although so many people told her not to date him because Pablo likes to show off too much. But Pearl didn't have a problem with that. She genuinely liked him. In fact, she changed him. He became a changed person because of Pearl, and he also influenced her positively too. They complemented each other. Being an outgoing person, Pablo made Pearl an influencer. He got her an iPhone and so many other things, like ring lights and other things to create content. And then Pearl opened social media accounts. She started taking pictures and posting online, and in no time, Pearl went viral for her flawless skin. People online asked, "What's your skincare routine, please? Tell us, we want to have a skin like yours." At this point, Pearl didn't even know what to tell them because all she uses is shea butter. As time went by, skincare brands started reaching out to her and they paid well. They partnered with her to promote their various brands and Pearl did. In no time, Pearl became a celebrity in the city. She was earning so much. She took all of her roommates on dates and bought them gifts all the time. She even shared the skincare products she got from brands with them. She made sure she was fair. Pearl became so popular even in her school. Whenever she goes to school, they will shout, "Pearl, we love you." One time, as Pearl was going to class with Rejoice, a group of girls saw her and were taking videos of her. They even begged for a autograph. She begged Rejoice to wait for her. When the girls left, Rejoice was so angry. She yelled at Pearl, "Pearl, what is the meaning of this? Is it because you are popular? Is it because you are now a skincare influencer? Look, I don't like this. Why did you keep me waiting for that long? Me, I don't know what they see in you. What is in your skin, Seth? Even my skin is better than yours." Pearl was still apologizing to Rejoice until she heard her say, "My skin is better than yours." It was so clear it's jealousy. It was that instant Pearl knew Rejoice isn't her friend. She didn't say anything. Rejoice realized that she shouldn't have said that and she kept quiet. But she already said it. Few weeks later, Pearl announced to her friends that she's moving out as Pablo rented an apartment for her. They were all excited. They asked if Rejoice will be going with her to her new apartment, but Pearl said no as Pablo wants her to live alone so they can have their privacy. Rejoice was so angry. "You want to leave me inside this room and move to an apartment? No way." She smiled and congratulated Pearl, and Pearl started packing. The next day, she was set to move out. She used her vitamin C syrup and put her face cream on her face. But then her face started stinging, and in minutes it became so black and burnt. Pearl yelled. She cried as the pain was too much. But then Rejoice came into the room laughing so much. She laughed so wickedly. "Now, who has the best skin?" she asked Pearl. As Pearl was shouting for help, Rejoice ran away. She didn't even bother to help her or take her to the hospital. Pearl heard her voice and she knew it was her because the thing was stinging her too much. She couldn't even open her eyes well. Her other roommates heard her scream. They were shocked when they saw her fresh face now turned burnt, and they rushed her to the hospital. Her other roommates and Pablo were shocked. How can Rejoice do this? They treated Pearl, but the doctor said her cream was mixed with acid, and it will take years for it to get back to normal. Pearl cried at her ill luck when it comes to friends. But Pablo stood by her. He got Rejoice tracked and arrested. She cried when she saw Pablo. "I loved you, Pablo. I love you. She took you away from me. Please don't leave me." But Pablo ignored her, calling her wicked. And Rejoice fell down crying bitterly. Pearl's mother and Pablo stood by her, and they made sure they took care of her. It took a very long time for her burnt skin to return back to normal, but it did, and she became the biggest skincare influencer in the city. The end. So besties, note that your roommate is not your friend. You both are only cohabiting, so don't make the mistake of treating someone you met because you share a room as your friend and then you open up and then oh no, don't do that, everyone. Please don't do that. In most cases, it usually turns out like this. I've heard cases of people that they have roommates and then they do so many wicked things to them out of jealousy and anger. Take a look at Pearl. In her case, Rejoice is the bitter one. She has good roommates, but Rejoice just happened to be the wicked person. I've heard cases of people who have roommates that steal their foodstuffs, that steal, that are dirty and do all sorts of things that they don't like. So please, if you have a roommate, let that relationship be there, that you're my roommate, you're my friend. Don't share too much personal details with that person, and make sure you study that person. And I feel like you can never know somebody too much. Some people, they pretend, and you cannot even know. So yeah, just be very prayerful so you don't get into the wrong hands. So please everyone, make sure you like this video. Tell me what you feel about the story in the comment section. Tell me your experiences with roommates. Please, let's make the comment section an interactive place. And you already know that I always reply. Please do not forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so every time I upload a new video, you'll know. Thank you so much, besties, and see you guys on my next video. Bye, and love you. See you.